Magical realism is a genre of fiction in which magical and fantastical elements are matter-of-factly blended with the real world. Magical events are presented as straightforward and actual, making the lines between realistic and fantastic elements blurred. The genre is separate from actual fantasy because it is set in a modern, authentic world. Magical realist literature is a relatively modern form of writing, although the literary strategies used have been practiced throughout many cultures through history. Magical realism is also a film and visual art genre. So where does it come from? What does it mean? How did it come about? All this and more next. Many scholars believe magical realism as an outcome of post-colonial writing. Post-colonial writing involves two opposing realities, the reality of the conqueror as well as that of the conquered. Similarly, magical realism is characterized by conflicting perspectives of the rational view of reality and the supernatural as prosaic reality. Ray Vasconi describes the genre as an expression of the New World reality which at once combines the rational elements of the European super-civilization and the irrational elements of a primitive America. The magic of magical realism is often connected to the supernatural beliefs of Native Americans, and the realism draws parallels to the European rationality. This post-colonial writing has developed mainly in areas previously considered New World colonies, these areas being mainly Latin America. The German art critic Franz Roh first coined the term magical realism. Roh saw the art as a way of pictorially depicting the enigmas of reality. Throughout the 20th century, there have been many contributors to the art. Some of the most prominent contributors come from Latin America. Mixing fantastical elements into the historical background of Latin America, Gabriel Marquez of Colombia received a Nobel Prize for his novel 100 Years of Solitude. The Argentinian poet Jorge Luis Borges, Chilean Isabel Allende, and Brazilian Jorge Amado also have made contributions to the genre. Magischer Realismus, or magical realism, was officially recognized as a major trend in art in 1925. It was at this time that painting took a turn from the extravagance of expressionism back to more realistic styles. In this work of magical realism, real objects expressed invisible meaning, contrasting the expressionist style of imposing overtly magical aspects to the real world. Because of these obvious contrasts, magical realist art can also be thought of as post-expressionism. Gustav Hartlaub curated an exhibition of the theme Neue Sachlichkeit, or New Objectivity, at the Kunsthalle in Mannheim, Germany, in 1925, as this new style was on the rise. Hartlaub embraced this term New Objectivity rather than magical realism, believing it to be a more practical description of the art. Hartlaub founded this collection on the idea that only works who have remained true or have returned to a positive, palpable reality in order to reveal the truth of the times would be included. This collection was viewed across Europe during the 20s and 30s, with growth of the style building mainly in Germany and Italy. In the 40s and 50s, American painters were eventually coined magical realists under a New York Museum of Modern Art exhibition. This form of art has grown throughout the 20th century and is still celebrated with study of it today. In the visual arts and literature, the overtly fantastic and trivially mundane can still be combined for magical realism.